Actually, we fund 61 agencies. 54 of those agencies are providing services in the city of Moore.
This month on Inside Moore, we'll take a look at one of the unsung heroes of nonprofit funding in Moore, the United Way of Central Oklahoma. You might be surprised at all of the things they make possible. And later,
it takes people that are willing to stay on this road that's going to make Moore even more of a success than it is now.
Scott Singer is Moore's newest city council member. From scuba diving to police work to ancient coin collecting, find out what makes him tick in our in-depth profile. It's all coming up right after this. Get ready for the biggest sale in town, the annual Moore Citywide Garage Sale. This year, the Citywide Garage Sale takes place on Thursday, May 2nd through Sunday, May 5th. If you're planning to join the sale, you can use your own signs, but avoid posting them on telephone poles and remove them 48 hours after the sale. No permits are required, but registration is requested. You can register online at cityofmoore.com. Registration closes on May 1st at noon. So go online today and register for the biggest sale in town, the annual Moore Citywide Garage Sale. Sometimes the simplest ideas can make a big difference.
Someone is going to shovel the ashes into the sifter box and then just sifting it back and forth like this. The sifter box is designed so it lets small objects go through in the ashes, but then will retain any object bigger than a 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch.
In so doing, families can sift through the remains of a house fire to find cherished items. It's actually a collaboration between the Heart of Oklahoma chapter of the American Red Cross and the Boy Scouts.
A scout had that as his Eagle project, and then he had his troop members helping him with it, and they delivered 50 of those units the day that the wildfires broke out in Oklahoma. And so we were really excited to have that so that we could provide those to the families who needed them.
We did have families come back and tell us thank you because they were able to actually salvage items that they would have never salvaged without this type of sifter box.
While the sifter boxes were built by the Scouts and distributed by the Red Cross, they were ultimately made possible by the United Way of Central Oklahoma, who paid for the materials to build them. In fact, the United Way of Central Oklahoma is a major contributor to both Scouting and the Red Cross in Moore, along with 52 other social service agencies that specifically serve our city.
We have been in Oklahoma for 88 years, and United Way started as a fundraising organization, so nonprofits and charities could focus totally on their mission, while United Way did the fundraising for them so they could take care of the social service needs in their community. It has evolved now. We have a research department that researches the social service needs in the city of Moore.
Well, United Way is the Heart of Oklahoma chapter's largest donor. They're our largest funder for our organization. They provide us the funds that we need to do the things that we do each and every day. And because they provide those funds, and we're able to go out and do the direct services in our community and concentrate on that instead of fundraising 24 hours a day all the time to raise the money that we need.
While organizations like the Red Cross and the Scouts still need to do their own fundraising, like the Red Cross Heroes campaign and the Friends of Scouting fundraisers that are currently taking place, United Way supplements those budgets by supporting specific projects within partner agencies. In the case of Scouting,
what United Way funds is those families that may not have the money for Scouting, and so those kids do not miss that incredible leadership opportunity to be a Scout or be in Camp Fire thanks to United Way funding.
Through the United Way, the funds that Scouting receives from that, it helps sponsor summer camp programs and different programs throughout the district. where young men can go and take merit badge classes, learning potentially what they might want to be as a vocation in their life. And this helps a young man that has no idea what he wants to do, and it fits him into the community. And through United Way, the funds that it's received, this is possible. And so I think it's just been it's just a good thing all the way around.
They also help organizations like Youth and Family Services, focusing on assisting underprivileged kids with a wide range of opportunities. Ultimately, these services will become more needed as Moore continues to grow.
In my opinion, Moore is a very strong city. And to be a strong city, you have to have your social service needs taken care of, along with all of the other pieces that come into play with economic development in a city. You want people to move to your city, and that's a big piece of it. They want to know that you're taking care of your community and those less fortunate.
Which can have a very tangible impact.
For one reason, if these young men grow up and they're productive, they're paying taxes. And that's going to make the community a lot better community. They have commitment, and they know their place, and they know their duty, and they know responsibility. So that's one Scoutmaster's opinion.
Leading to things as simple as a sifter box, or as complex as lives forever changed for the better. If you'd like to learn more about the United Way of Central Oklahoma and its specific work in Moore, check their website at unitedwayokc.org. or give them a call at 236-8441.
This is the last and final project of the 2008 GO bond that the voters approved. That project actually is Broadway from Northeast 5th to Northeast 18th. It'll include signalization at Northeast 5th and Broadway. There'll be 3 lanes of roadway, 2 lanes for through traffic and a center turn lane, and then we'll build sidewalks on both sides of the roadway. We have a junior high and an elementary school where we have school children walking to and from school, so we felt their safety was first. So this way we'll be able to add sidewalks on both sides of the roadway, and we hope to start construction early summer, and hopefully we'll be completed by spring of 2014.
This is Scott Singer's idea of a really good day, out fishing with his wife and grandson. Scott is Moore's newest city council member, taking over the Ward 2 seat held by Kathy Griffith, who retired this year. On this day, Scott and his grandson caught numerous catfish at Little River Park, but 35 years ago, he caught something different. A love for the community of Moore when he moved here to join the police department in 1978.
We moved to Moore, so I started my job and stayed with the Moore Police Department for 27 years.
During much of that time, Scott served as the public information officer for the police department. When massive tornadoes struck the city in May of 1999 and then again in May of 2003, Scott was the official spokesman for Moore Police. In that role, he had to address media from all over the world, converging on Moore to cover the story.
A strange moment was when I first when I went on a television morning news show that was being done live, and I got to say, "Good morning, Katie, Matt, and Al." That was very exciting for a PIO, a young PIO, that to be on a national program, talking about my city, talking about our needs and how we're responding.
But the tornadoes weren't Scott's first brush with a major emergency response. In the wake of the Murrah Federal Building bombing in April of 1995, Scott was part of a Moore team of firefighters and police officers called in to assist with the immediate aftermath.
We were one of the first teams that kind of moved up to the Murrah Building, and there were entry into the building there were unfortunately people that we had to leave behind because our primary focus at that point was to find the living and assist them out. I thank the brothers in the fire department for all the work that they did, but also for considering me as part of their team on that day.
Scott continued to assist for many weeks after the bombing with rescue and recovery, having been trained in rescue through his time in the Air Force. He later received a special commendation from the Moore Fire Department for his efforts.
And I have to say that out of all the positive things that I had happen in the police department, that was probably the most moving example of cooperation and of heartfelt thanks from the fire department. I was very flattered by it. I was very humbled by it.
Through his years in law enforcement, Scott's experiences often took him underwater.
I've done diving for the city of Moore. At one time I was in charge of the dive team for the police department and trained a number of them. We have done a few dives where we have attempted to either recover evidence or do other police-related issues in an underwater environment. And I was also earned a certificate as what's referred to as a public service diver, which in that case we unfortunately are called upon to either look for humans that have drowned or have been lost during a boating accident, or recover evidence, or sometimes just salvage things. So diving's been very exciting. It's been very good to me, and it's something I've loved to do for many years.
As PIO officer, he also wrote regular articles for the More American newspaper, and one time even uncovered a mountain lion during a drug bust, which was later trained into a drug-sniffing police cat of sorts. It's an unpredictable ride in law enforcement that continues today through Scott's current job as a detective at the Cleveland County Sheriff's Department. And while his vocation lies squarely in law enforcement, that's not necessarily where you'll find his hobbies. Take his coins, for instance.
These coins are coins that were from an early Roman period, probably the second minting, and they were found in a hoard, and we're still trying to identify them. I have a coin from the Emperor Nero. I find that coins tell a story, and if you look at the types of coins in particular that I'm interested in are ancient coins and of the biblical periods.
While law enforcement and coins from antiquity are passions of Scott's, they pale in comparison to his primary passion, family. Scott and his wife have 2 daughters and 3 grandsons. His daughters are also involved in police and emergency response work, certainly a chip off the old block. And his grandsons seem to enjoy fishing every bit as much as he does.
What makes us? What's our foundation? Where did Moore start, and what's going to keep it going? It's going to be family. You know, commerce is great, and having wonderful new stores and places where we can do our business without having to go to Norman or Oklahoma City. That's all great too. But then again, at the very foundation of this city, it's the families that are going to make it work.